From the home of the Mariners since 1999, T-Mobile Park here in Seattle. Baseball comes your way on a Wednesday afternoon. It's the Chicago White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners. First pitch coming your way next. On the hill for the Mariners, Emerson Hancock. Chris, it's a little more common these days, but still, he's a strikeout per inning type of guy.
Well, I hear you about the strikeouts. A lot more guys striking out today, but when you consider having the ability to get that strikeout, particularly when you needed a man on third, less than 2 outs, situations where, yeah, maybe you're not a real high strikeout guy, but just knowing you have the swing and miss stuff in a big spot, I think it's real critical, and he's got it.
And we're underway from Seattle. Next one is off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Swing and a line drive, base hit out into center field. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Well, they call that an advantage count for a reason. You're so much more likely to get something you can handle. And now a chance to maybe get creative on offense with good speed on first.
Next to hit, Munetaka Murakami.
No.
And the 1-0. There's the sinker at the knees for a strike. Working down in the zone to start the at-bat, looking for that double play ground ball.
Yeah, back-to-back sinkers there. He's looking for some weak contact or to get this hitter to roll over. Now, as a hitter, you have to be really disciplined. Don't look down because you'll end up chasing the ball down. Set your sights high. Maybe you get a mistake.
The 1-2.
What do you
Starting
got?
to go after it. Now we look down to third, and that's ruled a swing. It's a strikeout. Time to check out the lineup for the White Sox. And so far this year, this has not been a very good offense.
Well, in this day and age, if you can't slug and get on base, that OPS has to be at a certain level. If you're going to produce runs, give your pitchers an opportunity as they're facing tough offenses as well.
1 out man at first. Miguel Vargas steps to the plate for the White Sox. To the right side. To Crawford for 1. Double play. What a clean killing to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. Now it'll be the M's turn. No score. We go to the bottom of the first. On the hill for the White Sox, Sean Burke. Singy, he's kind of a road warrior, yeah?
I definitely say so. You know, some guys shrink a little bit on the road. They're so used to just having the comforts of being at home and having the fans behind them. But this guy seems to thrive in adversity and being in some hostile environment. So when you have a player like this on your team that goes out there and competes, you definitely like your chances away from your home ballpark.
Strike on the inside corner.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you.
Outside.
Not an easy out by any means.
Ball.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Here's a 2-2. This one in the air, center field. Acuna under it. 1 down. And now we check out the Mariners lineup. This is not a team that's had much success driving the baseball so far this year. They have to rely on stringing hits together as opposed to scoring a lot of runs on homers, doubles, and triples. So it's hard to bunch runs together.
Well, it's exhausting being at the bottom in slugging percentage, Boog. Stringing together big innings is tough over a long season. Somehow, they need to generate some power.
Rodriguez in the box as he fouls off the first pitch. The 0-1.
Up, ball.
Cut on and miss, struck him out, and there's 2 down.
Well, that right there is just a pitcher's pitch, tailing away from the hitter, low and away with some good action at the end. You know, even if he gets the bat to that ball, it's probably just a weak ground ball to the opposite side. Tell you what, that's a tremendous 2-strike pitch.
Popped up, Antonacci. And that is that. We played an inning, no score. Top of the second. Now here's the cleanup hitter for the White Sox, Colson Montgomery. On the ground, right side. Toss to Naylor. 1 pitch and 1 out.
That is fifth, the left fielder, number 23, Andrew Benintendi.
Andrew Benintendi steps up. Ground ball up the middle, and it finds its way through for a hit. And that's a 1-out single.
Batting sixth, the right fielder.
Timing on the swing was good, able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off.
Jared Kelenic now. That one clips the outside corner. 0-1. Man at first, 1 away. Right through there for a strike.
I understand you want to try to gauge that guy's fastball, but you also have to be aggressive and ready to hit in your zone. Now you're in a tough spot.
That one missed. Struck him out looking. Tristan Peters, the next to hit. Out towards right center field. Rodriguez on the move. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. So 1 hit is all they get. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. No score. We head to the bottom of the second, and stepping in for the Mariners, Josh Naylor. This is a guy that they are counting on to deliver, and early on this season, it's been a struggle. Bottom line, his resume says he's a good hitter, just has not gotten off to a very good start. And you got to figure, regress to the mean, water finds its level, all those sayings, that he will end up having a good year.
Well, I'll tell you this, nobody on his team is worried about it. They've seen him do it year in and year out. May get off to a slow start, may have a slow mid, but when the game's on the line, when the season's on the line, he's the guy they want at the plate.
Stays alive.
Well, he hasn't gotten the result yet, but it's got to feel pretty confident. 3 foul balls in a row. He's right on this guy.
High fly ball out to center field. Acuna under it. 1 up, 1 down.
Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 30.
So up next, Rob Refsnyder.
Refsnyder.
Ball.
Looks like he's just sizing him up there. Really good pitch to hit, but he took it all the way. Sometimes guys just want to set their timing later on in the game. That may be a pitch that he turns on.
So now 1-2. 0-0 here in the bottom of the second. And the next pitch is way outside. That
Ball.
one is upstairs. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Three-two. And it drops in, but a good job to keep it in front. So a man aboard now with 1 away.
Love how he became a really
Batting
tough
fifth,
out with 2
the right
strikes
fielder,
right there.
number
Nice
9.
line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
So digging in, Connor Joe. And a foul ball. Refsnyder leads off first with 1 away. That catches the top part of the zone. 0-2 now. Joe wants another look at the called strike. It's a challenge. And that one did miss. And the strike is overturned. So they've still got both their challenges. Foul ball there. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's out number 2.
Came inside with that 2-strike fastball nicely and just bunched him up on the inside part of the plate. Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with 2 strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there.
Next to hit, Cole Young.
Hurt.
The 0-1. In the air out towards right center. Acuna moving under it. And that will end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We played 2 full. We're tied 0-0. On to the 3rd inning. Now it's the White Sox catcher, Drew Romo.
Drew Romo.
Fouled off left side. And that one fouled off. Hancock, 26 years old, a former first-round pick in 2020. And
Ball.
that is downstairs. And that's ball 1. Now a slow roller to second. Young tosses to first. Leadoff man retired here in the third.
Batting ninth, the center fielder, Luis Angel Acuna.
Now here is Luis Angel Acuna. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Swing and a foul straight back. The 0-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. The 0-2. Got him looking for the K. Some high G's for strike three. Acuna wants to challenge this. Thought it was a ball. Barely a hair out of the zone, but it was a ball. They'll keep both their challenges. 1-2 here. That's foul off to the right side. Keeps the AB going. And a 1-2 again.
Ball.
Good battle here. About to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Struck him out swinging. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. You can't be mad at yourself after an at-bat like that one. Back to the top of the White Sox lineup. Here's the second baseman, Sam Antonacci. He's 1 for 1, led off the game with a single. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. On the ground to short, Crawford gets it to first.
He's out.
And that is the inning. 1-2-3 go the White Sox. Still no score. As we go to the last of the third, and stepping in for the Mariners, number 85.
Ball one.
Here's a 1-1. Man, that got him square in the mask. Line drive, knocks it down. Fires across the diamond.
You're out.
Quick recovery from the misplay, pays off for the out.
Number 5, Johnny Barreda.
And up next for Seattle, Johnny Barreda. That one fouled off. Still tied at 0, last of the third. Goes down looking.
It's a tough at bat right there. You go up trying to be aggressive, fall behind 0-2 in the count, and then spit on one you think's a ball, only to get rung up. Probably a little too close to take, though.
Yeah, he had it right. StatCast showed that one missing the zone, but not by a lot. Back to the top of the Seattle order, J.P. Crawford will hit next. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center.
No, that's down.
Yeah, that's fouled off. Two down, nobody on. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Here's a high chopper. Murakami. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. On to the fourth. Still scoreless. Back in Seattle, on to the fourth. Munetaka Murakami steps to the plate for the White Sox. Check swing. He went 0-1.
You know, these White Sox just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone, and those chases that are turning into a bunch of outs. Can they turn that around and stay within the zone?
Now this ball is well hit. This one's got a chance.
Just foul.
And it gets into the seats.
Ball.
Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again. Swing and a line drive. That's a base hit into center field. So a man on base to start the inning.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. Pitch was on the outside, didn't go the other way with it, but still a nice job of using the big part of the field to find a hole. No way he hits it that well if he hooks around the baseball there.
So up next, Miguel Vargas.
Ball.
Well, here's a good opportunity in this inning to get on the scoreboard after that leadoff hit, and hardly order coming up right behind them. This is where they need to get going.
Go ahead run at first. Nobody out. Top half of inning number 4.
Ball 2.
Sliced hard but foul. And it remains 2-2. Out towards right center field. Joe under it. And there's one down.
Up next for Chicago, the shortstop, Colson Montgomery.
Go ahead run on base. Colson Montgomery getting ready to hit. Scoreless here, but now he's got to deal with a guy who's got some power. Got to be careful when you're talking about a hitter with this type of slug and these type of home run totals. Here comes the 0-1.
No, he's really working him away this at bat. Sometimes take a little bit off velocity. Try to get a rollover, something on the ground. Stay away from that big hole on the right side of the infield.
Ball to strike. The pitch.
Ball.
Murakami leads off first with one away.
Ball
Just
3.
missed.
Oh, they have had a hard time scoring in this one. The pitcher out there on the mound wants to keep attacking, make sure that they don't get any confidence.
And a 3-1 on the way. Foul ball there. And a payoff pitch. Sets him down looking. And that's 4 strikeouts.
Well, he hadn't seen that changeup the entire at-bat until that put-away pitch, and it's pretty tough to deal with as a hitter. You're up there battling, trying to read and react with 2 strikes, and then all of a sudden the pitch comes out of nowhere, and it's a good changeup. It's just almost impossible to hit it when you haven't seen it.
Benintendi gets a chance to hit here. 1 for 1 with a single so far. Swings and sends a rocket to right. Reaching for it, makes the catch. On to the bottom of the 4th now, still with no score. Back at T-Mobile Park, and stepping in for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. That's off the mark. Ball 1. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Kelnick moving under this one. Brings it in. And there's one away.
Up next for the Mariners, the designated hitter.
Now it's Randy Arozarena. First time up was a pop out. That's a laser base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Up next for the Mariners.
Dominant performance for him today, Boo. Just 2 hits allowed so far, no runs across either, and he's had an answer for just about every hitter he's faced. So I don't think this hit is going to knock him off his stride too much.
Here's Josh Naylor. Flied to center his first time.
Ball.
The 1-0. And there's a foul ball. 1 away, tie game, go ahead run stands at first. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Ripped on a line to center. Makes the grab.
Next for the Mariners, the left fielder, number 30, Rob.
And now for Seattle, Rob Refsnyder. That one's upstairs, ball 1. Arozarena off of first with 2 away. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Now a quick throw to first, and he's out, and they got him. That ends the inning. Mariners go down quietly there. Through 4, still tied. Zip, zip. Back in Seattle, all set for the start of the inning. Jared Kelnick steps to the plate for the White Sox. And that one fouled off.
You know, these White Sox, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Ball.
On the ground to the left. Toss to Naylor, and the leadoff man set down in their half of the 5th.
That's what a good sinker is designed to do. Get a guy to roll over a little bit, hit the ball on the ground, kill some worms while you're at it.
And now the DH, Tristan Peters. Flied to center his first time.
Well, he's looking great so far. It helps when over 80% of your first pitches are strikes. He might be able to go the distance if he keeps this up.
In there at the knees, and it's 0-2.
Well, he didn't like those first two pitches. Now in an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. Hope he gets a mistake.
And the 0-2. Ground ball right side. Naylor takes it to the bag, and the first two set down in the top of the fifth.
Up next for Chicago, the catcher, number 36, Drew Romo.
So up next for Chicago, Drew Romo. 0 for 1, he grounded out in his first at bat. Two down, nobody on, and we're at the top of the fifth. Bounce to the left side, but it kicks foul. The 1-1.
That's a ball.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike two. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. Two down, nobody on. Good job to fight that one off. The 2-2 on the way. Up the middle. Not in time. He's safe.
Did a nice job getting there. Good throw, but very difficult to get anybody on that one as far as you had to go and throw. You know?
Yeah, no question. Here's the center fielder, Luis Angel Acuna. He was a strikeout victim his first time. In there for strike one. Two gone. The possible go-ahead run at first. Ground ball left side, and it stays fair. Runner holds it second, so another base hit could get us the first run of the game.
There's something about pulling one down the line and shooting it through the infield that's just so satisfying as a hitter. It's just fun turning on a pitch like he did right there. A chance now to take the lead, and at this point in the game, that could be a deciding run.
Stepping in, Sam Antonacci. Two on, two outs, and fouled off.
So now it's all about protect mode. Try to shorten up, try to track the ball, block it if you have to, as far as just a late swing that maybe you're not sure about, but some way, somehow climb back into this at bat through the count.
No,
he's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike, but so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone, and the last two pitches that he's thrown, good pitches, but even better takes.
And that's the third out. Still nothing on the scoreboard for him after 5. Back after this on the show. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And stepping in for the Mariners, Rob Refsnyder. Check swing, and he went. Strike one.
Well, these Mariners just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. Chasing pitches has been a big part of the story. We've seen it quite a bit today. It's been tough for them to make contact at times, and it just doesn't look like they're seeing it very well as a group.
One away.
And on the mound, you know confidence has to be pretty high with all of the swings and misses. He's had them eaten out of the palm of his hand pretty much all game.
Now it's the right fielder, Connor Joe. He struck out swinging at his first at bat. down the right field line and a base hit. And that one's going to get into the corner. So a man aboard now with one away.
That play looks routine defensively, but with all of the little nooks, it can get real tricky down in the corner. Kept it to a long single. Nice defensive play.
Now it's the second baseman, Cole Young. He's 0 for 1. Ripped to first, caught. They put the tag on him, and that's a double play to end the inning. He continues to roll on the mound as 5 shutout innings are in the books. You're dialed into the show. Back at T-Mobile Park. Close game here, and a chance now to look at a few highlights from this one. Leading off, Munetaka Murakami.
Well, this guy on the mound's done a lot better than we would have expected, and the hitters just don't seem to have the right game plan. They're taking too many mistake pitches for called strikes.
Check swing went around. That's strike 2.
Ball.
That's a really good take right there. Slider down and in. Very difficult to get on the same plane and do anything with.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
But I'll tell you, when he goes to look at the video of that pitch, he's going to want to punch himself. That slider had hit me written all over it, and clearly he just got a little too excited and was out in front.
Inside.
Tell you what, when you get a pitch like that, you cannot miss it. Those have a chance to go a long way.
That one fouled off. Check swing, no appeal, and it's 2-1.
Gosh, Boog, I think he's trying to deke the pitcher. There's no way he's thinking he can hit that pitch.
The 2-1 is high.
A rare 3-ball count here. He's been throwing strikes all day. Got to be ready to hit if you're in the box.
Fought off foul. Fights it off. You'll see another. Three and 2. Payoff pitch.
That's down.
And he
Ball
walked
4.
him. And he heads down to first as a potential go-ahead run after that long AB ends in a walk. Montgomery in the box here and fouls it off for strike 1. Oh, 1 now. On the ground to first, could be 2. To Crawford for 1. Return throw to first, got him. Double play, and that'll do it. Make it 6 shutout innings for him out there now. And we still have no score.
No, that's a ball.
Foul ball there. The 1-1. Ripped to short. Over to first. 1 away, bottom of the 6th. Pareda batting for the 2nd time, and that's strike 1.
Well, we call that keyhole. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
Line drive, and that's a fair ball. Crawford,
Down,
the next
ball.
to hit, takes ball one.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
This one drilled right center field. That one heading for the fence and gone. One down. Julio Rodriguez up next for the Mariners. Swing and a high fly ball out towards right center field. Hauls it in after a long run. 2 down.
Every day during batting practice, these outfielders get about 10 minutes of balls in the gaps. They practice this, and when the game comes, they make the play perfectly.
Rosarena in the box here lets that one go for a ball.
Sold it really well with the arm speed. Swung underneath it, so a changeup that stayed a little bit more on plane than what he was anticipating.
Ball.
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Joey gets on base and keeps it going. And now it's Josh Naylor. Right through there for a strike.
Boog, that hook's looking pretty sharp today. Just a solid pitching performance so far, and I really think it's because of that curveball.
Montgomery, jump throw. They get
He's
the
out of there.
and that'll do it. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. 7th inning coming up. It's the Mariners 2 and the White Sox nothing. Benintendi up here. That's
Ball
too
one.
low, and it's 1-0. That one fouled off.
Well, it's been a very impressive outing so far. His command has been a big part of it. Even when he misses outside the strike zone, which is exactly what a pitcher wants.
And a foul ball.
Ball.
3-2 now.
No.
Expect for that guy to come right at you with a fastball, something in the zone, because he does not want to allow the leadoff walk.
Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. Fouls that off to the left, and we'll do it again.
Now, there's a pitch we haven't seen in a while. It's going to be tough on the hitters if he can mix that in whenever he wants.
Foul ball left side. He'll see another.
Pitcher having a pretty tough time getting that swing and miss. 3rd foul ball in a row. Also really good at bat. What I like about this guy, his bat stays in the zone for a long time. Gives him the ability to foul off tough pitches.
Struck him out without a swing. He didn't make it easy for him on the mound, but they still get the strikeout. Kelnick at the plate now, and that's strike 1.
So important to get ahead of these hitters. You don't want to issue a free pass and allow that tying run to come to the plate. Always want to keep that other team in a position where if they're going to beat you, they're going to have to do it with multiple hits.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
To first, but it pulls him off the bag. 1 down. Tristan Peters now at the plate. And that's in for a strike. It's 0-1. On the ground, right side to Crawford for one. What a double play that was. Inning over. No runs, one hit, no errors, and no one left. Midway in inning number 7, and it's time to stretch. It's the Mariners 2 and the White Sox nothing. Digging in, Rob Refsnyder.
Got what he's looking for there in the 0-0 count. Looks like he wants the ball down in the zone.
That misses, and the count even 1-1. Strikes him out with 100.
Oh, nice job right there. He struck him out twice. The pitch before looked like it was strike 3. Doesn't get the call. Bears down. Throws another quality pitch for the strikeout.
Joe in the box again. Takes a strike. Their field. Makes the grab after a long run. And there's 2 away. Young in the box as he fouls off the first pitch.
It's a tough pitch, but in terms of the best pitch you're going to get to hit in the at-bat, that fastball was down enough where you're going to catch up to one. That's the one. When he elevates, hitters aren't touching it.
Lined in the left center, base hit. Around first and hustling for second. To second, pulls him off the bag.
Back against the wall with 2 strikes, but found a way. Really good pitch that he knew he could handle. Allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
That is the inning. So they can't do anything with a 2-out double. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Mariners 2 and the White Sox nothing. Just missed.
Ball 2.
That one the other way, and he goes airborne to make the catch.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. 0-2 now. Got him swinging.
Well, that's always the key to effective pitching, is getting ahead in the count. And as a pitcher, it really allows you to start expanding the zone. Hitters become defensive, and all of a sudden that plate starts to get really wide. And what happens is, because of the pressure, you end up committing to a pitch as a batter before you recognize what it is, and that's what leads to the strikeout.
2 down, nobody on.
Ball 1.
Looking very settled on the mound here in the 8th. One more out, they'll probably hand it off to their closer for the 9th with at least a 2-run lead.
Fouled off the plate, they'll do it again. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. And that one is downstairs, and it's 2-2.
Recognize that changeup right out of the hand. Just spit on it.
Breaking ball misses down and away.
Wow, this guy's really battling up there as if his run is the game-winning run. I love his tenacity.
Gets a piece, and stays alive.
Well, he's having a tough time getting a pitch by him. As a hitter, you feel pretty confident that you're seeing different pitches still able to make some type of contact.
Right through there, got it. And the White Sox go quietly. Home half of inning number 8 straight ahead. It's the Mariners 2 and the White Sox nothing.
Ball.
Two balls, no strikes to count.
Yep.
Swings through that one out in front that time. Still 2-2 after the foul ball. Battling here as he fouls it away. That's to third. Vargas. One gone to the bottom of the 8th. To third.
Foul
and
ball.
Foul ball. Here's the 0-2. And they'll do it again. The 1-2. And a foul ball. He stays alive. The 1-2. Caught him looking for the K.
Well, not much you can argue with there as a hitter. That pitch was dotted on the inside corner of the plate. I think even if he swings the bat, it blows him up and not really able to do anything with it anyhow. I think if you see that early, then perhaps you can pull those hands a little bit tighter and get the fat part of the bat to it. But I'd say overall, you just have to tip your cap on that one. Great execution.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. Nothing doing here this half. Through 8 full. Mariners on top 2-0. Last chance coming up here for the White Sox. Bottom of the zone and a called strike. Line drive to short and caught.
That at bat is a positive sign, even though it probably doesn't feel like it. You hit the ball hard, but it doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes the defender is there to make a play.
Vargas in the box now. No balls and a strike. Slider right there. Munoz, a righty that throws with power. 27 years old, and he's a native of Mexico.
Ball.
One down, base is empty here in the 9th. And now it's even up. Got him swinging for the K. White Sox down to their final out.
Well, when you throw the same pitch back to back, that's how you want to do it. Set him up in the strike zone, then extend a little bit from there and see if you can get him to chase. Nicely done with the slider right there.
2 down, nobody on. They're down to their final strike.
He's trying to stay away from this lefty, knowing that a lot of left-handers like the ball down and in.
Got it. That's the ball game.